You ever have one of those moments where your life flips upside down before you even unpack your suitcase? Because I swear, that's exactly how my first day on Grandpa's old ranch started. And if you'd told me it would end with the FBI viral hashtags and the whole community fighting over a pond, I'd have told you to lay off the whiskey. But here I am still trying to make sense of how a little patch of water and one power-hungry HOA president could drag me, a complete outsider, into the kind of drama you only see in those late-night TV movies. So picture this. I'd just rolled up from Seattle, dust still fresh on my boots, sun barely up, standing in front of this crusty but beautiful Texas ranch that Grandpa Jackson left me. And before I even had time to breathe in that hot mesquite air, she appeared, high heels on gravel black power suit, looking at me like I was something she'd scrape off her shoe. Christine Blackwood, president of the Willowbrook Estates HOA. The kind of person who talks in italics. That pond's gotta go. Today she says like she's ordering takeout. I laugh, thinking surely she's joking. But nah, she's waving paperwork and already calling the sheriff before I can say, "Excuse me, what?" Now, I'm no stranger to weird neighbors, but this was next level. She pulls out some fancy folder, swears Grandpa signed away his rights in 2019, and before I know it, the cops are on their way. That's when my new neighbor, Sage Riverside, an old-timer with a face like worn leather and a Border Patrol badge clipped to his shirt, starts watching from his fence. I don't know it yet, but Sage is about to flip this whole script. Sheriff Rogan Steele shows up, body cam blinking, looking like he's seen it all and wishes he hadn't. He gives me 1 hour to fix this violation or spend my first night in county jail. I'm standing there still holding the keys to my U-Haul, trying to explain it's all a mistake, but Christine's waving those papers like she's just ended the Cold War. Sheriff studies the signature, frowns, says, "Doesn't look right." And right then, Sage steps over, slow and steady, with that quiet authority you don't learn from a book. The moment he flashes that old badge, Sheriff Steele's whole vibe changes, like he suddenly remembers who really runs things out here. Turns out Sage isn't just any neighbor, he's Grandpa's best friend, and he knows every secret this land's ever kept. He invites me and sits me down and shows me a pile of official documents. Federal contracts, old photos, even a codicil to Grandpa's will, naming me as the legal representative for all Border Patrol activities on the property. You want a plot twist? Here's when the pond wasn't just Grandpa's favorite spot. It was a designated emergency staging area for mounted Border Patrol operations. Literally protected by federal law. Christine's whole case instantly toast. But that wasn't all. Sage hands me a stack of photos, Border Patrol horses, watering rescue ops. Even one of Christine herself grinning next to a federal agent by the pond back in 2018. So she'd known all along. Her concerned citizen act, pure theater. Next thing I know, Captain Sterling Voss from the Border Patrol calls me up, tells me my granddad once saved his life. And they're not letting any small-town politician tear down his legacy. Voss and his agents drive out, back me up on video, and suddenly social media is exploding. My video goes viral, hashtag Karen V's Border Patrol is trending, and the whole internet seems to take my side. Christine panics, hires a PR firm, and pivots her story. Now it's about property values, not community safety. She's got Facebook groups worked up about federal overreach, but the truth is out there, and people start to see through her act. And then another wild card, Phoenix Martinez, an investigative reporter with a nose for corruption and a folder full of receipts. She digs up everything Christine's shell companies forged signatures plans for a multi-million-dollar resort development once she gets control of my land. Phoenix even finds emails where Christine lays out her whole plan. Get rid of the pond, seize the property, cash in with a luxury resort. So much for community values, huh? It all comes crashing down when Phoenix confronts Christine in public, live with the cameras rolling. Christine's composure shatters when she's shown the old photos, the forged docs, the emails. And when asked why she did it, she blurts out, "I did what I had to do to protect this community." Not quite a confession, but close enough for the FBI, who were already sniffing around after Phoenix's evidence landed on their desk. Then it goes full movie scene. Christine organizes a safety rally, waving signs, giving speeches about threats to children. But the real threat was her forging documents, lying to the town, trying to bulldoze my grandfather's legacy for profit. When Border Patrol comes out to run their monthly training, Christine has security guards blocking the property, brandishing a temporary restraining order from some county judge. Didn't matter. The feds roll in deep flash badges, and when Christine tries to throw them off Agent Williams from the FBI cuffs, her right there charges her with federal document forgery and fraud. But here's where everything flips again. As she's being led away, a little boy runs toward the pond, and Christine loses it, screaming Tommy no, sobbing, grabbing the child who isn't even hers. Turns out years back, Christine lost her own son to a drowning accident. All this time beneath the power plays and greed, she was driven by grief, by this need to control water so nobody else would feel her pain. It doesn't excuse what she did, not even close, but it made me see her less as a cartoon villain and more as a wounded person who lost her way. The fallout was instant and ugly. The HOA booted her, apologized to me, and the Border Patrol, and ripped up all those fake regulations. Christine went to trial, but after hearing her story, I asked the judge for leniency if she'd agree to counseling and water safety community service instead of maximum jail time, and I worked with the HOA to build a memorial garden by the pond, a place for families who lost children to water accidents, including Christine's boy Tommy. It became a spot for healing, for remembering that we're all carrying scars nobody else can see. Now, the pond's not just a staging ground for border agents, it's a classroom, a sanctuary, a place where the community finally came together. I see kids learning about water safety, families planting flowers, agents training for rescue, and I think maybe, just maybe, Grandpa would be proud. The internet's moved on, the legal drama's faded, but the lessons stick. You never know what pain drives people to do terrible things, but you always have a choice about how you respond. Sometimes the best revenge is just refusing to let someone else's pain turn you bitter. So that's my story. If you believe truth and justice still count for something, if you've ever had to fight for what's right, drop a comment, hit that subscribe, and tell me how you would have handled it. And stick around, because the next story, let's just say the neighbor who called CPS because a kid's laughing in their backyard, well, you won't believe how that ends. Until then, keep your head up and never let anyone rewrite your story for you.